Namaste, everyone. Well, happy weekend. We are going to talk about power of our breath, which is with us all the time. And we are going to be talking with Deborah. She is a certified breath teacher, wellness coach, therapeutic yoga teacher, and she has also designed some of the programs called Clarity Process. We're going to find all that today. Thank you so much, Deborah, and namaste.
Namaste. This is a very, very important topic because when you were asking me to talk about how the breath calms the body and what we can do to keep the body and our mind and our whole being in a state of relaxation, especially with what's going on today in the world. There's just so much uncertainty, and anxiety is at the top. When you search anxiety, it really comes up a lot on Google. It's very popular: anxiety, stress, how to calm, and the breath being with us 24/7. We can't do anything without the breath, and we know that. And a lot of times we just take the breath for granted, right? But the breath can do so many things for us. It can either enliven us and energize us, or it can calm us down. But awareness a lot of the times is just not there because we can't pay attention to it all the time. And only when we get to the point where we go, oh, I need to take a breath, or I need to do something, do we become aware of it. And I just invite people, just every once in a while, think about your breath and how you're breathing, because there's some ways to give you a more efficient breath. And one is very simple one, is noticing, do you breathe through your mouth or through your nose on an ongoing basis? Because that's really important. I mean, you can breathe through your mouth every once in a while, you can breathe, but if you breathe through your mouth on an ongoing basis, that can create issues over time. Because the nose, our fabulous nose, this protuberance, this schnoz that's at the end of our face here, has so many jobs. It warms the air as it comes into our lungs. It moistens the air. So if we're in a dry situation, at least we've got some aspect of our nasal cavity to help us breathe. And the thing about breathing through the nose is when we breathe through our nose, it actually goes down into the lower lungs. When we breathe into our mouth, through our mouth, first of all, it dries the airway, and then we can have issues with breath if we're continually breathing through the mouth. So by breathing through the nose, it's actually taking the air into the lower ribs and the lungs. And that's what we want, because there's more blood, more circulation in the lower lungs. And when we breathe through our mouth is more associated with the upper chest. So that's what's called the sympathetic nervous system. And our sympathetic nervous system is the system that is about fight or flight or energize, and we get up and go. It's that part of our system. The other system, which is really important to keep us nice, calm, cool, and connected, and it's that rest, digest, and heal, is the parasympathetic nervous system. I'm probably not telling you anything new, but when you breathe through your nose, the air goes into that lower rib area, the lower lungs, and then is distributed to the rest of our system. Obviously comes into our blood system and breathe the oxygen. Now, what's really important is that when we breathe, it's important to know that when we breathe through the oxygen into the system, we get oxygen into the blood, and it's going along in the blood, and we want to get the oxygen out of the blood, right? Well, how do we do that? Well, you'd think, well, it's just going to go into the tissues and cells on its own. But actually, there's something really important, is that carbon dioxide, yes, that gas that kind of seems like, oh my gosh, it's a toxic gas, that's going to let the blood out of my system? Yeah, that's going to get the oxygen out of my system? Yes, because what its role is it helps dilate, regulate the blood flow. It optimizes our blood flow, and it actually releases the oxygen from the blood that's riding along in the blood into the tissues, into the cells, into the brain. And that's what we want. Another aspect of breathing through the nose is that there's this very important molecule called nitric oxide. And nitric oxide helps dilate the blood vessels, and it improves the blood flow. And it's actually an anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory. It's such an important molecule, and it's throughout the system, but it actually releases in the nose. And so when we breathe in, we're breathing in the nitric oxide, and that actually comes down into the lungs and helps to distribute the oxygen and the blood flow through the lungs. So it's very important to breathe through your nose on an ongoing basis as much as you can. And is that a good base for where we're going here, Amita?
Yes, absolutely. So I think what we'd like to understand is what type of breathing exercises we can do. What you talked about, the importance of nose breathing,
Yes,
and we can do a small demo that would, I think, have, before that, I want to talk about something else.
Yeah, absolutely. So I learned this through the Buteyko. It's called the Buteyko breathing method. And the interesting thing is it's about taking a light breath, a soft breath, and a deep breath. So we take a nice, easy breath in. And if you're sitting there right now and just watching, you can just be doing this along with me, is taking the air in through your nose, relaxing, taking a light amount of air and softly in, not a big fast, nice soft in, and into your lower ribs. So if you put your hands here on your rib cage, like here or here, just so you can feel where the air is going in, and you can place one hand here or here. So you've got two options, because you want to feel, where am I breathing? Am I breathing into my upper chest? Or am I breathing down low into my lower ribs area and then relax the belly? So if you put your hand here and just see, oh, my hand is going up and down. See if you can pacify the hand. And then if you pacify your hand, then where does the activity actually go? It actually goes into the lower ribs, right? You feel like, oh, I'm expanding my lower ribs out, and then contracting in. So we can actually do an exercise from this, which is, you can take your hand down and you're sitting tall, and the crown of the head is towards the sky. And there's a space between your sternum and your lower belly, so that we create an opening for the diaphragm to be able to move nice and easily, and the internal organs to move nice and easily when we're sitting tall. And then when you breathe in, take the air into the lower ribs and belly. I'm just going to turn my air off. And feel the air coming in and into your lower ribs, and feel your rib cage expanding out. And then feel the rib cage contracting in. It's nice and light. In fact, you can even turn it up a little bit. This is called core breath. And what's great about this breath is you can even tone your abdominal muscles with this one. So you're breathing in, and then as you exhale and bring your abdominal muscles in, bring everything in as much as you can towards the spine, and then relax and breathe in and exhaling out. And you're sitting tall, so you're contracting your abdominals, which is really great, and in and out, and see how that feels. Right, so I saw Anita go with her shoulders up. I'm really a breath buster. So you think about low and slow, and because that's where you're going to get your maximum oxygenation. And that's what we want. And what's interesting about oxygen is that it is an energizing molecule, right? But the carbon dioxide is a sedative, a relaxing molecule. So when we breathe light, slow, and deep, which I hope you're doing right now in terms of into the lower ribs, you may be feeling, I'm feeling a little bit more relaxed because that's activating our parasympathetic nervous system. And that's associated with the lower regions of our lungs. So just with that, breathing in through the nose and into the lower lungs and doing light, slow, and deep, not deep, but deep, we're going to change our breath, our mind, or we're going to be able to relax more. And that also helps us be more clear and feel like we're more grounded. Now, there's another aspect that we can do is if we're feeling congested or we just want to build up that antioxidant, that anti-inflammatory element, we can hum. So as we inhale and then hum on the exhale, we're actually increasing the nitric oxide by around 15%. And that's huge. That's huge. Inhale. So now you've been doing a little bit of a core breath, right? Where you've got your contraction of your rib cage and your belly in, and then relaxing and taking it out. Now lighten it up a little bit. So it's a little softer. So it's not such an active movement. It's more subtle. And this is where the subtlety comes in, to be able to breathe in a place where it may almost feel like, oh, I want to take a breath. Because actually, it's not oxygen that makes us want to breathe. It's the carbon dioxide that triggers us to want to breathe. That's the catalyst for breath. So if we breathe really light, when we feel a little bit of that carbon dioxide, that feeling, I want to take a breath, that's actually going to be releasing the oxygen into the blood. And that's what we want. We actually want to have that oxygenation and the carbon dioxide and the oxygen be buddies. It's almost like, oh, okay, I'm not going to walk with my mouth open because then I'm spewing out all that fabulous carbon dioxide. So it's a nice, even breath. So if you're practicing this now, you're probably feeling nice and calm. So your awareness is into your lower ribs. Relax your belly. Yeah. So we want to keep this part passive. Great. So that's beautiful. So here's two more things. Basically, there's breathe through your nose, and when you go for a walk, breathe through your nose. There's a habit of breathing through your mouth when you go for a walk. You don't even think about it. You walk and you go a little bit faster, you automatically open your mouth. And that's the carbon dioxide saying, oh, I've got to get some breath. I've got to get some breath. But what we want is we want to build up our tolerance to carbon dioxide so that we don't have to take a breath. Now, this might be a lot of information for people, but just know that carbon dioxide is your buddy. And that when you feel like you want to take a breath, pull back, go for a walk, go for a slower walk, build up your tolerance so that you're actually creating more energy in your system. And you have more endurance.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We have live audience. You are welcome to put the question in the chat window or unmute yourself and ask Deborah. Any questions about breath work? This is a quick 10 to 15 minute session, by the way. So we bring it every single day. These are complimentary for advocacy of holistic lifestyle. So you're welcome to ask questions or feedback or anything.
So I'll just continue on the originally when you connected with me, it was, and how does this affect the mind, and how can we get to that place of calm and be present? And this is such a wonderful breath to be able to cultivate on an ongoing basis, because when we're out in the world the way it is right now with all that uncertainty, we can be quite stressed. And so this is just such a simple tool. You can do it at any moment, is just connect with your breath. And that will take you inside into your body and be more present, so that you can be there for whatever is going on, or whoever is talking to you, can be more present in any kind of a situation.
Absolutely. So maybe you could tell us for a couple of minutes different type of breathing techniques. We don't have to demonstrate everything, but there are maybe 2 or 3 you could help name them, like alternate nostril breathing or anything else, if you like to.
Well, there's a fabulous one which has had lots of research, and it's under many names. I'll just tell you what it is. There's either coherence breathing, cadence breathing, which is, it's in seconds. You're breathing in for 5 and out for 5, or in for 4 and out for 6. I kind of like the in for 4 and out for 6, because then you get a little bit more extension of the exhalation, which helps bring down the heart rate, and you feel more calm and relaxed. And then if you add a hum to it, oh, that's a humdinger. So you take it by seconds, and it's just in and out. You're not holding the breath. That's just one way. And this research has stated that when you breathe this way for a period of time, let's say 3, 4, 5 minutes, what it does is it brings more coherence to all the systems in the body. So it's uniting, you could say. It brings the system together.
You think we could do a quick demo of inhaling 4 and exhaling 6?
Okay, so everybody sit tall, relax your shoulders, crown of the head to the ceiling, and feel like you're away from the chair. And then you're sitting tall, and we're going to breathe light, slow, and deep. So it's in, 2, 3, 4. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in for 4 and out for 4 for a couple of times. In for 4, out for 5, and then in for 4, out for 6. So if it doesn't feel good for you for any of the numbers, you just go exactly where it feels comfortable. Okay, just honor whatever you're feeling. Okay, so let's begin. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. I made boo-boo. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now keep your eyes closed and tune in and see with just a minute or two how the breath can change your feelings. Mm-hmm. Feel more grounded.
Yes, beautiful. Absolutely. The way
So,
you directed this whole, it was like an orchestra, you know, I felt like the way I know, it's so beautifully done, like a maestro, right? The maestro doing the orchestra here.
it's like that other knowledge about carbon dioxide and oxygen and all that, and nitric oxide. And that's all great. And for those people who are left brain and like to know about those types of things, I hope that inspires you. Bottom line is keep your mouth shut, breathe through your nose. And when you have the desire to open your mouth, you may just want to slow down. Breathe into your lower ribs. Relax your belly, because it's much more efficient, much more efficient. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. Any questions, feedback from any of the live attendees? And you, like I said, you can put it in chat window. You can unmute yourself. This is a quick 10 to 15-minute session we bring on a daily basis on different topics. So you're welcome.
You do a great job. You do a great job, Amita.
Thank you. I'm just trying to advocate holistic lifestyle. That's my passion, because I had a problem myself, issues with my liver, and I incorporated a holistic lifestyle. So I want to bring it out now to the world. That's my.
Beautiful.
All right. If there are no more questions, any comments, feedback, please. You're welcome to tell us how you're doing.
You can say whether you breathe or not.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, if there are no more questions, comments, or feedback, you are welcome to give us feedback anytime. We bring, like I said, we bring these sessions every single day, only for 10 minutes. But if you're interested in longer workshops, you know, we have it on our website. We have free, almost like 1,000 videos, all kind of topics.
Mm.
And we also have $10 a month, which we are launching more detailed on yoga, hormone health, you name it. So we have that on our website. You're welcome to check it out. And well, with that, thank you so much, everyone, for your support. Thank you so much, Deborah. Amazing, beautiful session, like a maestro sitting in the orchestra. That's how I felt.
Well, you know what? It would be remiss of me if I didn't mention that, you know, when we do the breath, we actually get more clear and we can connect into our inner wisdom. And I do have an upcoming course, which if somebody is in a place where they're just stuck and they don't know where they're going and they're at a pivot point, that check out my website, which is deborahrubin.ca, and see, it's the clarity process. Trust your inner compass. And so by settling down and getting to that place where you feel like, I can hear my wisdom, I can feel my wisdom, I can know my wisdom, then you can make decisions on a much better basis. And then there's even a plan, we work through a plan to bring you to that place of knowing.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, everyone. Keep supporting us. We're almost at 200,000 followers right now on Facebook. So wow. I am humbled. I am humbled.
This is great.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Susan, for your support. Thank you. And Charmaine, thank you. Bye-bye.